So then in the ring was Renee Moxley Good, and she brought out Bryan Danielson. And the question proposed to Mr. Danielson was, after all the things that have happened with William Regal, where does this leave the BBC? And Danielson said he doesn't expect the rest of the guys in the BBC to forgive Regal. But then he switched and he started putting San Antonio over. It's almost like Renee asked him a question. He skipped his happy talk. He had to go back and get it. But he trained there for real at his first match there. He went to Shawn Michaels wrestling school. Well, Rudy Gonzalez's wrestling school. Shawn Michaels was financing. And he got big pops with that. And when he plugged Shawn Michaels, the people started chanting HBK.
Yeah, that's what you want on your show.
Yeah, well, of course. Maybe they'll get him one of these days. Then he said that Regal made him the wrestler and the person he is today. And if you notice now, Regal had molten lava level heat when he first came out with MJF after the turn. Then with what they did, it kind of, or not when he first came out after the turn, but not with MJF. That first week when Moxley told him to just leave and don't come back. And he came back for 2 more curtain calls. But he went from having molten heat to kind of having the heat taken off of him to now he didn't really get booed, but you can tell, and this may have been the idea, the fans there don't like him as much as they used to because they know he left them. So even Danielson putting him over like Mother Teresa and saying he loved having him in AEW, the people were not like, oh, we want Regal, which is good. You don't want him chanting for somebody that's not going to come back.
Well, with everyone knowing everything, he probably shouldn't even be talking about him anymore at this point. He referenced him by name nonstop in this promo.
They had him come out and do the one farewell where Moxley got to tell him off. Then they had him come out and do the second farewell where MJF got to attack him from behind. Then they had him come back out and do the pre-tape that was put in a time capsule with Shivani in case anything happened to him. And now they're doing a goddamn what's the word I'm searching for? The speech they give at the funerals, a eulogy for what he meant to. He's gotten more TV time to leave than anybody else gets to debut. So finally, then Danielson does the same thing. He starts firing up and really getting serious with it, and says MJF is going to learn there's consequences to his actions. And he told MJF, come out here right now. And it was really a good promo. It had been even better if Regal hadn't bailed and went back to the WWE and was going to come back and do something. But Danielson's a great talker in his own fashion. He sounds like himself. He's very natural. But the music that plays is not MJF's. It's the other Page with Stokely. And I'd like to see Stokely with a top guy that I gave a shit about, because he can talk and he's kind of different. The other Page starts talking and promo and Danielson fired back, but Stokely's thing, he just called fucking Danielson, you raggedy bitch. That just cracked me up. You raggedy bitch. But this went back and forth too long with Page before Danielson said, how about right here, right now? Where have we heard that before lately? And the fans wanted it, but the other Page got a little heat by weaseling out of it because he wasn't dressed. Said, how about next week? Okay, and they left. So we're seeing a lot of similar shit going on with these programs, and it kind of all blurs together, but it hasn't stunk so far. Except for the EVPs. We're getting there.